Good evening, everybody, and welcome. It's another live episode here, AirgunwebTV. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. We have a few things to chat about, and I just spent all day filming. So if you guys are wondering what we got coming up next on the schedule for some videos, well, we can definitely talk about that. And as always, we can take viewer questions and have a couple exciting little tidbits to chat with you guys about. So right off the rip, what was I doing today? Well, I have been waiting over the past several months to have some good weather and time. Hey there, Eddie. To finish up some videos that I have scheduled for Umarex. And if you guys caught the Airgun Expo, I don't know if you guys have seen that. Let me just click over here. I'm going to pull that up so you guys can see it. I'll show you real quick here. Go to my page. So if you go to, actually, let me take you over to, yeah, I'll just show you here. I apologize for the delay there. All right, so if you go to my main page, which is youtube.com/AirgunWeb, we have all of these live Airgun Expo videos, and we have a ton of cool footage there. And we have a bunch listed. There should be a playlist, or we may even have a playlist of the Airgun Expo stuff. So if you got, yeah, here it is, the full playlist right here. You guys can go through and see all of the videos we did. But we got a bunch of guns in from Umarex, and between scheduling and other things, we've just been a little slow to get that material published or filmed, actually. And so we've been spending the last couple of weeks. Last week we did we spent most of the day working on the hammer, and that video review actually dropped yesterday. So for those folks that have watched that video, thank you for your comments. And if you have questions about the hammer, we can certainly talk about that tonight, because I know there's, it was slow to come to market. It had been promised, and then some miscues and so forth. So I know a lot of people may have questions about it, and I'm happy to jump in and talk to you guys about that. But we also got some other stuff from them. We had the M29 Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum replica, the M1A1, which is a 45 cal submachine gun replica, and then of course we had the all right, Gary just put a note up there. We'll get to that in a second. We have the Walther PPQ 20 shot belt fed pistol. So we shot all of those videos today, and so we should have those going up. Hey there, Bullfrog Air Guns. By the way, for you guys that are on the chat, there's a gentleman up there, Bullfrog Air Guns. He does targets. So, dude, if you want to shoot me a quick email with your website, or if you want to pop it in the chat, I will approve it, because he just sent me a set of targets, which I was hoping to use them sooner than now, but I've actually got a video scheduled hopefully for later this week, and we're going to be using his very, very cool targets. If you guys haven't caught Angie's video at Backyard Airgun, Backyard Air Guns, or Backyard Shooting, excuse me, that's a long day. Apologize for messing up my own channel. Backyard Shooting, if you take that, take a look at that. She did a video on his targets, and they're very, very cool. So first of all, hi to everybody that's jumped on here. I'm glad you guys can all join us. And Angie's actually up there. Hey there, Angie. Angie, if you have a link to your review of the Bullfrog targets, or your demo of the Bullfrog targets, please drop it in there, and I'll make sure to approve it so people can take a look at where to get those, because they were very, very cool. Mine came in. I haven't put them together yet, but maybe I'll do a video of that, a whole assembly, and then take them out and shoot them up. So that's what targets are for. Okay, so Gary. Gary's got his own channel. He's Casino 7095 there. It looks like he's got an Avenger 177. So he's got some video work going to be coming out for that. So you guys check him out. He's also publishing, one of the contributors we have that's faithfully looking to put content on the Airgun Arc over at Gateway Air Guns. So Gary, I want to thank you for doing that. So let's see what we got here. Okay, might have to get up and get something more to drink here shortly. All right, so Josh was asking me the question: is the hammer tunable in any way? Not really. It's turned to 11, and that's where you shoot it. I don't know if you're trying to get more or less, but it's really just set. Can you go in and tinker with it? I'm sure you can, but it's not like a approved way of tuning that gun. It is just what it is. It's got a regulator. It throws lead pretty consistently on 2 shots, and that's what you got. So there you go. Let's see. I believe Angie should have a video coming out soon. She's got an AirArms video coming out next week. And also, I sent her a hammer, so she's going to be shooting the hammer as well and looking to do a little hunting with it. So we're excited about that. Any questions that you guys may have, definitely jump in here and ask them. But that's what we got going on. I did want to tell you guys about a new offering, and I know it's been many weeks now. We've been talking about Evanex products. No, excuse me, Evanex Umarex products, and that's because I've got Umarex on the brain, trying to get caught up on some work this year. All right, so let's see. We got a question here. Yeah, Joshua, if you want something that's tunable, big bore air guns, there are some that are, but generally speaking, they're just maxed out to get you the most power. So not a lot of tuning options. There are some that are, but they're not, that's not the norm. That's going to be the exception rather than the rule. Okay, Iguana Guy. Yeah, this is Harold. First of all, how you doing, Harold? We will, I'll get to your question in just a minute because it actually dovetails in exactly with what I was going to talk to you guys about. This gentleman here, 698, bought a Crossman Magfire Ultra 22 today. Can you recommend a scope optic and a hunting pellet that holds up at 50 meters? I have that gun. In fact, I've got a video I'm going to be working on between the Gammo Swarm Maxim Gen 2, the Gammo Magfire Ultra, and the Hatsan Speedfire. I have those guns in-house. I have not started that work yet, but I will be doing that. I will tell you the gun's not a 50-yard gun. It's not scope dependent. It's just gun dependent. It's not going to be a 50-yard gun. So if you're looking for a 25-yard gun, it'll do that, I would imagine. But it's not a 50-yard gun. So you're going to be barking up the wrong tree if that's what you bought it for. If you want to have a good optic, I always go for the Hawk Vantage IR line on a Springer. The etched glass reticle seems to hold up well, and it's a good price point. So that would be my suggestion there on the scope. And that's no matter what distance you want to shoot. Okay. Let's see. Eddie, okay, so the Dragonclaw is a great gun. That'll be a wonderful gun to play with. Gentleman's asking, isn't the hammer 4,500 psi? That would be a pain. I just direct fill off a compressor locked into 45, and it's not a problem. So I also, if I'm shooting at the bench, I'll shoot tethered. I just put a 4,500 psi bottle on it. The regulator's regged at 3,000, so I just open the bottle, let the hammer regulator do its thing, and I just shoot. And then I can shoot as much as I want off of that large bottle, just to leave it tethered. So that's how you get around that. If you're hunting in a blind, you get 2 shots, and that's really all you should need with that gun because you're taking big game with it. Wouldn't go try and hunt prairie dogs with it. That's the wrong product for that. Let's see. Iguana Lifestyles. Harold, I think of getting down there again to Florida and seeing you guys. You guys want to do some hunting. There's a guy up here, Iguana Lifestyles. Check them out. They got a great website, and it's a very, very fun thing to go out and shoot iguanas. Your first PCP, my thinking is this. If you can afford the compressor along with the gun, then you have a lot of options. I think the Avenger is a great option. I think the Gauntlet 2, the Gauntlet 2 is available now. The Gauntlet 2 is a great option. If you're looking for like super duper shot count and a massive power plant or massive power output, I think the Gauntlet 2 is probably the way to go. If you're looking for something where you don't want to have to buy a compressor, I think the Umarex Origin is a phenomenally good gun. Still my go-to for a new PCP owner that doesn't have anything and they just want to start with something. That is great because the way the gas ram works, if you guys haven't watched my video on the Origin, go check them out because unlike a lot of air guns where they have a lot of pressure and a regulator, Umarex took a different approach because they wanted to minimize the number of strokes you have to put in the guns to just take a shot. So if you have a typical PCP, you're going to hand pump it. You're going to have to put 150 strokes into it just to take a shot. Well, what they did with the Origin is they put a gas ram in it. So as you're putting pressure in, that gas ram is actually pushing against that pressure, acting, pardon the nose itches, acting like a booster, where it actually, it actually has more pressure because of that ram. So you could put 11 shots into the 11 pumps into the gun and take a full power shot, which I think is awesome. From dead empty to full is about 140 strokes, and from topping it off is, I don't know, say 60 strokes or so. I don't remember the exact number. Maybe it's a little, but the Origin gets you 30 or 40 excellent shots in 22 caliber. It's 1 inch at 50 yards all day long. It's lightweight, side lever, mag fed, just a really nice gun. And if you don't have a pump, you can buy it with the pump as a package. And they just released here recently, if you guys haven't seen it, let me zip over to it because this is pretty cool. I was talking to Umarex this week. Let me zip over here because this is kind of a cool thing. All right, so I was talking to them this week, and now they have the Origin with just the rifle. So if you've been wanting the Origin just as the Origin without having to buy it with the pump, that is a dynamite little air gun, and you have the same advantages. The little spring in it acts like a type of regulation device. It's not a regulator, but because it's constantly adding pressure to the existing air, it actually maintains a higher pressure than you would without it. So it actually works really well, gives you a really nice shot curve. Just a dynamite gun. And they're in stock, as you guys can see here, which is awesome. And they're $329. And look at that little click circle. Sorry, I got distracted. Shiny thing. I wanted to just let you guys know that we're going to be doing a contest, or giveaway, I should say, giveaway at the GTA. Umarex is giving us one of these to give away over the GTA. So I'm putting those details together. We'll figure out how we're going to run the contest. But this is going to be, if you haven't joined up the GTA yet, please do so. It's gateway-to-airguns.org. Sign up. We're working on making the sign up process a little bit more streamlined. It's going to take a little while to get that done, just because there's lots of moving parts and lots of people we got to work with on that. But this gun is going to be one of our first giveaways. So check that out. I think it's very cool. But if you've been looking for the Origin, but you don't want to have to buy it with a pump, there you go. 330 bucks. And it's a really, really nice air gun. I mean, it is a very nice little air gun. I like that gun quite a bit. So I'm going to be doing a video on this again. I've already done a few videos on this, but I want to highlight this just not as a gun and pump combo and its value, but just as an air gun on its own merits. I'm going to be doing a video on that coming up here shortly, so keep your eyes open for that. All right, let me get back over here, see what's going on in the chat. Okay, let's see. Alberts, I don't have any experience with the Brocock Atomic. I did a little work with Brocock. I had the Sniper HR or something. It was a pretty decent gun. I haven't done anything with it, with those rifles since that project, so I don't know what to tell you. Joshua, I don't know. Those are groups that I haven't followed very well, and I don't know the validity of those claims or what's going on. So I just don't know what to tell you. He's talking about modifications under the radar on the Origin. I'm just not sure. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so Dave, let me jump in. Dave's got a good question. He says, Rick, think we will ever see a company make a Springer air pistol multi-shot that can achieve 6 foot-pounds or more and be accurate? No, and I think the reason is physics won't really allow for it. Okay, so you guys, especially you enthusiasts, are going to know how this works. But let me see if I can explain how a Springer works, because people, first of all, air in as a propellant has limitations, just inherent limitations, and the reason is the air molecules are relatively large comparatively speaking. So you can only move so many through a hole at so fast without reaching a theoretical limit that you just can't have any more in there, moving through the transfer port or whatever. So there are just physical limitations because of the size of the molecule. Um, the way a spring gun works is, so you have a chamber, it's called the compression chamber, and you have the cylinder and it's empty. And when you cock the gun, the piston draws back and it just fills with, well, it's just air. There's no pressure, it's just air. And so you have a pellet in the barrel up here. Let me get in the camera here. So you have a pellet here in the barrel, and you have the compression chamber, and you've drawn the piston back, right? So the volume you have in the cylinder is what you have to work with. So Gammo, for example, when they wanted to make more power, you can do it a couple ways. You can certainly accelerate the piston more rapidly and make more power, but that means the what's propelling the piston, the spring or gas ram, has to be that much more powerful, which means it's harder to cock, for example. So like the Gammo Magnum, the reason it's more so powerful is that it has a very, very strong gas ram in there, and it moves that piston at very high velocity. Man, I apologize, my nose is itching like crazy. Um, so that's how they do it. They also elongated the chamber so you have more volume. The other thing you could do actually is increase the diameter of the chamber. So what they did to make more power, say, in a form factor like the Gamma Maxim, you don't want to put a more powerful spring in it because then you just make it harder to cock. That eliminates, it goes the wrong direction. But what they did is they expanded the size of the chamber, the internal diameter of the compression chamber is larger. It holds more volume. So when that piston goes forward, it has the resistance of the pellet in the barrel, and as it goes forward, the resistance or the pressure overcomes the resistance, and it fires the pellet forward. So when you have a pistol, especially a pellet pistol, and you're trying to accelerate a pellet, you got to have enough volume in the cylinder. So unless you wanted a very large pistol, the volume just doesn't exist to make that happen, at least not yet. I mean, and then the RAM, to be able to then cock it and then fire it, it would be somewhat unwieldy. I think because you have products that are in CO2, and you can make a 2240 do some pretty incredible things, but you have the CO2 and also PCP options. I don't see a spring pistol ever coming out that's going to be multi-shot and high power. It just, there's too much engineering and cost that goes into making that work that I just don't. And then it would be huge. It'd be enormous because you need a huge compression chamber, and piston and spring and all of these mechanicals that you ideally, a pistol's supposed to be small, handheld, right? Not a carbine. Not, you don't need a shoulder stock to make the thing work. Well, when you start getting to those higher powers, it's sort of what you're running into. I mean, the most powerful Springer pistol that I was aware of and am aware of is going to be the Hatsan Mod 25. Great pistol. It's on a little, it's got a little, the whole action moves to help mitigate some of the recoil and all that kind of stuff. But it was a big pistol. I mean, it was not a 1911 sort of frame. It was big. The best powerful hunting pistol that I'm aware of, personally, there's a couple. There's the HW100. It's a Wyrock pistol. Forgive me if I get it wrong. It's a 99 or 100 or something. Maybe I can look it up here in a minute. But they make, no, it's not even that. Those numbers are wrong. Hold on. Let me just pull it up. There's two really good PCP hunting pistols that I can recommend without reservation. So we can do HW pistol. That freaking pop up. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Okay. Excuse me. HW44. So this guy is beautiful. And it's in stock. This thing is a dream pistol. If you guys haven't seen my video on this gun, it is really, really nice. Regulated, good power, good shot count, super accurate, quiet, just a wonderful pistol. If you want a hunting pistol, that's it. Yes, it's expensive. I get it. But it's what those cost. The other one is going to be the AP16, the Ottoman AP16. All right, so I have do I have the standard silver, I think. I may have the compact. Okay, so I have, it's either the standard or the compact. I don't remember. This, if you notice, it's really well proportioned. I mean, other than having the tube at the bottom, it's really very similar in shape to a 1911. You can tell grips are certainly 1911-ish. This is a 21 foot-pound multi-shot side lever action 22 caliber pistol. Really, really nice. So I'm actually going to be doing an article on this for Airgun Depot coming up. So those are my picks. And do they even make the Mod 25 again? Let's see. I don't know that they make it anymore. Okay, here they do this. Okay, see, this was my suggestion to them years ago, was because the pistol was so big, go ahead and put a shoulder stock or the option to, because then it makes it a super nice little carbine. But this is the Supercharger 25 pistol that was formerly a Browning, actually, when it was Browning when, is that right? Yeah, I think it was when Umarex was importing from Hatsan. Anyway, this would be the most powerful break barrel Springer / pistol that I'm aware of. See if they're giving you some powers here. Okay, so they're saying 8 foot-pounds out of this. So if I remember correctly, that's probably not far off. So it's just a big, heavy, and somewhat unwieldy pistol. It's hard to shoot it like a pistol, but hey, it exists. So there you go. Hopefully that's useful. And if I went too far down the rabbit trail, I apologize. Okay, let's see. How heavy is the Dragon Claw? It's 8-9 pounds. It's heavy. The Diana CO2 that you reviewed, also under the Nordica brand. Nordica brand, is there a quality difference? Raphael, I don't know. I'll say that I don't know. I just full stop. I don't know. There are many manufacturers now that are making guns for people that they just put their name on. When you buy that, you license their gun to put your name on. You get to dictate the quality level. So could there be a difference? Yeah, there could be. I've seen a good example, and I could talk about this because it's no longer being done that I'm aware of. But back in the day, you guys may have remembered um, a brand called or a store called Compasico. Because I actually one of the first customers I ever had as a writer was with Compasico. They had their Tech Force brand. The Tech Force brand came out of the same factory as the Beeman RS Gold or something. And what it was is that the Tech Force guns were the top of the quality chain, and then the Beeman guns would get the lesser quality down the line in different grades depending on how they came off the line. So Tech Force could cherry pick just the ones they wanted for their guns to put their name on. Same gun, but not the same gun, if that helps. So I don't know if Diana's doing that or not, but it could be. Let's see. Let's see. Just looking at these things here. People like the Origin. The Origin is a great gun. I think it's got to be one of those guns you look at as a first PCP, regardless of with or without the pump. I think it's that good. Let's see. Okay, Albert, on the DAR, I reached back out to them. You guys talked about them. They've been meaning to send me a gun for some time. I should have it tomorrow. So the DAR rifle that I've been promised should be coming out. We'll be doing probably several videos on that gun, some for my channel, pardon me, and some for Gateway to Airguns too. So we should have that coming up. Okay, Jason, I have a 300 bar compressor that I bought with my Avenger, excuse me, Hots on Spark. What would you suggest as the next step up in gun from the Avenger? Well, you really start looking at a lot of different options. If you want to go sort of against the grain, so to speak, some of the Avenex guns can be quite good, and I'm sort of, you know, promoting myself here is that we have like the, let me see if I pull up a picture. We have the new Max MLs. Let me pull this up. We just hired somebody, by the way, at Airgun Pro Shop back to help us with getting all of our stuff published again because we were so far behind. All right, so this rifle here is stinking awesome. This is the sniper right here. This bad boy is just bad to the proverbial bone. That's like a couple steps up because it's big. Let's go back to Avenex. Let's look. I want to show you the Max ML. All right, so this is the Max ML, and we have it in 22, 25, 30, 35, and 45, and we had a 50. I don't know if we still have it or not. But this gun here is a side lever. Let me pull up the picture. So this is a side lever. Did I get more pictures? Where are they? Oh, okay, side lever, multi-shot PCP. This is a really nice gun. The Max ML is a gun that's been around for a while, so it's not a brand new gun, but they've redesigned the cocking lever, the valve. All right, so here's the new cocking lever, which is much nicer than it used to be. The valve. There's a lot of things they've done to make this gun better. That's kind of an unusual step up, and it is expensive at $1,000. Really, your next jump away from the Avenger is going to be probably in that $1,000 plus price point. So like the Avenex Max ML, maybe a BSA, AirArms. You can certainly get into a lower end day state, FX. So all of those things are going to be options. But the next step up from an Avenger is not going to be a Marauder. So please don't get talked into that because that's the wrong direction to go. Maybe one of the new Benjamin guns that are crawls though, that may be an option. One of the Caden or the Akela might be a nice option. They might be good, and I'd take a look at crawl and maybe some from Hatsan. But the Avenger is really good, and to go up from that, I think you're going to be looking to spend $1,000 or better. So hopefully that's useful. But I'd take a look at some of those options. First aid air gun. I need to find an origin of fill probe. I would call Umarex and see if they can get you one. That's what I would do there. Heath asking, does the cocking and stock feel as good or better than the Avenger? They're identical to the Avenger as far as the cocking goes, because it's actually the same top end. The gun, the receivers, it's all the same. But the stock, I like the synthetic stock on the Origin much better than the synthetic stock on the Avenger. The wood stock on the Avenger I prefer over that, but the synthetic to synthetic, the Origin is, in my opinion, I prefer it much better. Bullfrog Air Guns. I have had my eye on the SWA 20 gauge to foresaw it. I know I want the choked barrel. So the smallest is out. Would the medium size be good for birds, or should I just aim for the longest? The 15-inch is a great option. If you want a custom-built 20-inch, I think that's probably going to be your sweet spot. And you can just reach out to me and we can work something out. It's going to be a little more money, but we're looking to have a 20-inch option. for those that want a little bit more power, a little bit more control over the shot pattern for birds, but they don't want to go to a 27-inch. So I think we're going to have a 20-inch model coming out, and so I could probably get one custom built for you if you need one. So just reach out; we can take care of it for sure. Um, Hector's asking me, in your opinion, which is the best compressor for PCP and why? If you're going to put one in your shop, there's the buy once, cry once sort of thinking. Alkin, be done with it. It's $3,200 plus freight. It's expensive as hell, but you won't ever have to buy another compressor. So, 2-year warranty. Just it's a beast of a machine, and it's rated for continuous duty. So, if you want like something that's not going to break down, not going to wear out, the top of the shelf as far as what we could get without going to $10,000 bow or something. Oh gosh, Alkin, wonderful. If you're looking at something to just fill your gun, oh gosh, man. I think everything on the market today is a temporary solution, right? If you're spending $500 to $1,000 on a compressor, you're buying one that's going to last for a period of time, and then it's going to wear out, and you're going to replace it or rebuild it. So they're all that way. Even when you go to the $1,200 to $1,500 compressors, you're still looking at a shelf life that is not going to be in the tens of years. It's going to be in the handful of years before you're looking to have to do some work on it. So I don't know if that's what you want to hear, but I think that is just the reality. If you want something that's going to produce air for the long term, then just buy like an Alkin and be done. The day state's also very good. They did rearrange the motor system, so now you need to have a 30 amp 110 plug, which has caused a few problems. I wish they just had the regular 110 again, but they don't. Maybe they'll bring it back. But the day state would also be an option. That's $2,000. So if I'm already spending $2,000 plus shipping, what's the leap to $3,000 and some change to get something that fills 3.5 times faster, that's continuous, rated for continuous duty, and is going to last decades? It's an investment in your air gunning. I don't know what to tell you. I wish I could say there's a $500 option and you can just be set for life, but I don't know of one. I just don't know. I wish I had better info for you or better news, but that's just what I'm telling you. Let's see. Yeah, so that guy, thank you for the SWA stuff. What you're saying, the gun is really, really fun to shoot. The Albert, the Gammo, as far as making a top tier like a BSA gun again, I don't know. They're fixated, or their business model is one of volume. And top tier air guns don't do volume. When I say volume, we're talking hundreds of thousands of units, not tens of thousands. Tens of thousands are not volume as far as Gammo is concerned. 500,000 rifles to Walmart across the U.S., that's volume. 10,000 rifles across all their distributors, smaller distributors like Pyramid Air and others, in a high-end rifle, they're not going to get excited about that. I wish it wasn't the case. I wish I could convince them to take the enthusiast market more seriously and build something that's really going to get us excited. But right now, their business plan is focused on volume. Maybe that'll change over the future. They are bringing in a few of the European guns on select runs on their website. Those are going to be higher quality. What I mean by that is you're going to see a steel breech assembly. None of the plastic shrouding stuff, none of the plastic breech is going to be steel with a nice stock. Those we should see. Limited runs, but they hopefully will make those more available. I've encouraged them in person. When I was in Florida, I encouraged them in person to really consider the enthusiast market, because I think there's a bunch of us here. We're not going to blip a radar. We're not going to put a blip on their particular financial radar. But gosh, at least give us something we can sink our teeth into, which would be really nice, because then we can continue with Gamma all the way up through our air gunning career and not have to sort of leave them behind after we reach a certain point. Let's see. Eight foot-pounds is, I gotta say, hunting with an 8 foot-pound pistol is reasonable. You only need 4 to 6 foot-pounds to kill a squirrel if you hit him right. So 8 foot-pounds is actually more than enough, but there's a big if there. If you hit him right, and it's already hard enough to do it with a rifle. With a pistol, now you're really throwing in a challenge. So you probably will do more wounding than ethically taking game. Um, but that is certainly something to remember, that you can do it. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Any idea when pellets going to be back in stock? It's supply issues, guys. Unprecedented demand, and trying to get things through customs and ports and shipping. If you're desperate for some pellets, okay, Steve, I want to talk to you about the tuna tube. That's cool because I'm going to do a video on that. The supply on the pellets. Look, hopefully soon we'll have more supply. If you're desperate for some pellets, we do have some pellets at Airgun Pro Shop. We're limited people to 2 tins of pellets per month, just so that people can shoot. But we have 22s, 25s, 30s, 35s, and some 177s too, but mostly the 22s and ups in JSB. So if you're looking for those, you need a couple tins of 18-13s, let's just say. We do have some of those in stock, but it's limited 2 tins per month per customer, because we're trying to let everybody shoot instead of one person just buying us out. All right, so Steve, you said you ordered the tuna in a tube. Awesome sauce. And it looks like, from what you said, you dropped it on your TX200 and the twang is gone. How does it shoot? Does it shoot better? As far as, did you notice any accuracy difference? I am going to be doing a video on how to do that, because that is just a product that, if you have a Springer, not a gas ram, but a true Springer, with that tuna tube, makes such a difference. So I'm very glad to hear you gave it a try, and I'm curious how it's done for your actual shooting, if you've noticed a difference in your accuracy and just the presence of the gun. So I'll be curious about that. The Huntsman Revere, I think Angie did a video on that. We had one here for Airgun Expo. I don't have a lot of experience with it. David, hi David, good to see you up here. Do you have experience option on the UTG scopes? I used to, before I became a Hawk fanboy and really promote their stuff, I used to shoot UTG, and then the quality took a dip, and I moved to Hawk. I have not revisited UTG in 10 years. So they probably are great. They're certainly at a lower price point. I think one of the big differences you want to look at, if you're going for a scope, look for etched glass reticles. And I believe a lot of the lower end stuff, Centerpoint, UTG, etc., even the lower end Hawks, the Hawk Vantage, not IR, but the low end Hawk Vantage scopes, are wire reticles, and they're just not as good as etched glass. So keep your eye out for looking for etched glass reticles. Let me get off this page. There, that's way better. Okay. Let's see. How about the Diana Outlaw? That could be a good option. You know, the Diana Outlaw is a really nice gun. It's not a step up from the Avenger, though. I mean, the Avenger and the Outlaw I would put on the same bench, maybe, or the same place. Maybe the Avenger slightly better because of the abilities it has in the easy tunability, where the Outlaw doesn't have it. So I don't see that as a step up. A sidestep, another option in the same class for sure, same price range for sure, but not a step up. Okay, my question, is there a water separator that will stand? Oh yeah, there's tons of water separators in the 4500 PSI thing. Let me see if I can just pull you up one. Hold on just a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. Just going to zip over to Amazon. Here's one of the things that I like to show people. Let's say you buy a cheap compressor, and you buy it because it's cheap, and then you're going to add all these things to it to make it more not tear your gun up. Okay, so water separator, filter, etc., etc. So say you want a twin tower filter system for your young hang or whatever. Let's see here. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay. Scuba filter. Let's see. Okay, so here's a 30 MPa high pressure filter right there. So this is one that I know I've used a variation of this. It does a pretty good job. You're looking at 246, say 250, so $250 on this. So they do exist. So something like this would work just fine. So, and you have these singles units, they're okay, but they're just a filter. There's not much separation here. If you go back to this, you have a true condensing tower and a filter. So this is, sort of, you see how they've rigged it up here, right? So it's exactly like, you have the little young hang thing, and this is how you run it. And that gives you your better quality air going into your tank or your gun. But you are adding, 200 and some odd dollars to it. So, I mean, that they do exist, but I would say something like that would be what you would look for. Let's see. I don't know, Albert. I don't know that gun. He's talking about the Zabroye. I don't know. That guy. Will the 20-inch barrel be available separately? Yes. We are going to be doing mod kits at some point. I mean, we got to walk, crawl before we walk and walk before we run. But yes, we will be doing mod kits because to swap the barrel, it's 5 seconds. It's easy. And also the air cylinder. So a longer cylinder, longer barrel is something we can do. Just working on getting the guns produced first, and then we'll deal with some of these mods. Yes, but yeah, absolutely, we'll be able to do that. So glad you guys are buying the tuna tube. Please let me know how it works. It's awesome. Mike Mitchell, I don't know that gun. TR-50 revolvers, I don't know anything about those. The Caden, I love the Caden. Robert, I did a video on the Caden, and I believe David, I think David bought my Caden. So David can tell you all about how he can't get enough of shooting the Caden. It's a phenomenally nice, it's just a really nice gun. The contrast between the stock Crawl and what Crawl did with Benjamin and their, Benjamin importing Crawl guns, slapping their name on them. Major improvement in the quality from the stock Crawl guns to the Benjamin named Crawl guns. They are really nice. It's a good example of the same gun, or a gun being made by a manufacturer, one for themselves and one for somebody else, where the somebody else one is built to a higher standard because that's the requirement. Those Benjamin, I forgot what they're called, but those guns were really nice. I'm not a fan of the bullpups, as you guys know, but the Caden, I got that one specifically because it was a traditional rifle, and it had just a barrel, didn't have a shroud or anything, just a barrel, and it's threaded 1/2 UNF, so I could unscrew it and put my own moderator on it. I love it. Really, really, really good. Let's see. What we got here? Let's see. Yeah, UTG makes some higher end optics with etched glass. If you're going UTG, go with the etched glass. I think you'll be happier with it. Right. Well, let me know, Steve, how it goes with the. Let me know how it goes with the tuna tube. If it's more enjoyable to shoot, I mean, that in and of itself is what you're looking for. TX200 is so awesome already, but you take that buzz out of your ear. Gosh, that makes life nicer when you're shooting it a lot. Let me know how it goes. As far as the Pro Shop and the pellets, normally what we've been doing is we require people to email me, and then I send you a custom invoice. We're going to be changing that because I just can't keep up with all the custom invoices I'm sending out. We're going to be modifying the site. I'm working, probably won't happen until Friday or the weekend, where we're going to put some limited inventory up and allow people to place orders. It's very simple. You buy 2 tins, no problem. You buy 3 tins, I'm going to cancel your order. It's just that simple. I'm not going to play around with people abusing the rules. I'll let you buy 2 tins. We'll fill your order. Don't buy another 2 tins for a month. I mean, just be fair for everybody else. We do have 22s and 25s in stock. Excuse me, 22s, 25s, 30s, 35s in stock in various weights. So once we get that updated, it's just time consuming. So we got to take physical inventory out. I got to have my web girl, hi Maggie. Maggie's back, by the way, for those that knew Maggie. I got to have her update the site and then update the pages. So be a little bit patient. We will have some available for you. Can just buy it and we can get it out within a couple of days. Let's see. Yeah, David loves the Caden. It's a great gun. I mean, I really like that gun. Airgun Technology, haven't shot their stuff. I mean, I don't know, there was a gun that we shot at the Expo that was the Evol or something, and I don't know if that's from Airgun Technologies or not. Forgive me. Some of the boutique stuff that's more like an Airguns of Arizona product or higher end, like the Raws and the FXs and those, I just don't have experience with them. So I apologize. I'm more of a blue collar airgunner guy. I mean, the highest end stuff I shoot regularly or would stock in the pro shop is going to be like FIREARMS, which is, well, those are, $1,200 to $1,600. They're certainly not low end. But that's more my speed, my style. So I apologize. I don't know more about the other stuff. I do have, like I did buy a Daystate Red Wolf, which we'll be doing a video on that coming up shortly. And I have the Catron, which I got from Utah Airguns, which is really nice. That gun will probably do a couple reviews on it, and then I may put that in Rick's private stock. I don't know yet, but anyway, I apologize. I don't know more about those things. Hopefully, as things progress, we're looking at how we're going to expand into next year and do some different things with Gateway Air Guns and AirgunWeb and all these other things. I'm hoping that maybe I'll personally get some more exposure to that stuff. But I stay pretty busy with where I'm at, and there's probably a bunch of people already looking at those other guns. And granted, I appreciate folks looking for me to do it so they can, know my opinion, and I'd love to give it. I do have a full plate on what I've got going on right now. Okay, so we are sitting at about 20 past the hour here. And if you guys have any more questions, shoot them over. If not, I'm going to keep rambling. Okay, Eddie, the AA stuff, I get this question almost every week. I haven't shot any of it. I've talked to users of AEA guns. I've talked to distributors of AEA guns. I've talked to people that are asking about AEA guns. I haven't shot them. So I don't know. I can only tell you what I've been told. And I've heard praises of their awesomeness, and I've heard some real horror stories of their less than awesomeness. So I just don't know. Because I haven't put my hands on them, can't tell you. Semi-auto and a pellet shortage is no good. You're not kidding. It gets expensive too. All right. Well, I'm trying to think of what else we can chat about tonight, or maybe we call it an early night. If you guys, I'll go back over. If you guys haven't yet signed up for Gateway Air Guns, please do. If you have questions on the process or you're having issues with the process, let me know, because we want to make it easier for people to get on the GTA and participate. The other thing, if you guys are interested, a little more shameless self-promotion here. You guys don't mind if I do that once in a while, do you? So, Gary, if you're still up, Gary is Casino something or other. I forgot the numbers at the end. But he's a member of this site. If you guys have ever been over to Airgun Army, this is our website where granted, there's a bunch of my stuff and Angie's stuff here, but this is open. If you want to sign up as a member, you can join up and become a member and post stuff and communicate, and you can jump in on these topics where we have these general discussions and all of this stuff. and we can create more discussions. If you guys want to have a fan group on a particular rifle, we could do that. This is my system. It's mine. I own it. Nobody else has any control over it. It's just me. So I can do whatever the heck I want to do, and that makes me happy. But this is really cool, and it's super easy to use on your phone or your computer. So if you are interested in hopping over here to the Army, do so, and you feel free to post your stuff. It's got to be about air guns. That's the rule. Don't post a bunch of stuff that isn't, and we'll all get along just fine. But yeah, that's a real fun place. I love it because it's so easy to use on my phone, and I can keep up with things so easily. So check that out. It's airgunarmy.com. You guys can just check it out. Check it out. It's pretty cool. Let's kick over here. Let's see. The Evol is American Air Arms. I don't remember. Thanks, Angie. I'd have to go back and look at the footage from Airgun Expo. I'm not sure. Yeah. I mean, if you're coming out, come on out. This weekend is probably going to be a good weekend to get together. It should be good, and we can go through some of the AEA stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. All right, okay, so Greg, let me answer your question. And I get some other questions here. Okay, all right, so we got questions stacking up. I'll get back to them here. Okay, so Greg, as far as me on YouTube, years ago, I mean, back in 2008, I posted a video, and then it just went from there. I've had great sponsors which have helped me do it. As you guys may or may not know, even though we may get millions of views in a quarter on YouTube, that equates to like zero money because YouTube has completely basically cut our legs out from under us on any sort of monetization. So any revenue we get to keep going is done through sponsorships. There was a time where if you had enough views, you could actually earn enough money in just view revenue, but that ended a few years ago. And so monetization doesn't exist. So not really, maybe $150, $130 a month, maybe is what I make on YouTube, and the views I get, which doesn't even cover gas back and forth to town to drop packages off. Anyway, but it's really, I've had really, really good sponsors, still have really good sponsors that give me a ton of freedom to just do what I want to do because they trust me. And you guys trust me, and that's why I try to work hard to earn and maintain that trust through the work I do. So that's how I kind of got to be the go-to guy, I guess. Hopefully the content you guys are finding is useful. And it's funny, I know I can't please everybody, and it's I just had a guy leave a comment today on a video that's probably 5 or 6 years old now. And he was less than happy with my presentation, but failed to read that it was an introduction of a product, not a review of a product, and raking me over the coals for doing a pitiful review. That kind of stuff happens. I mean, I try and do the best I can to maintain an integrity in the content and tag what it is so that a review is tagged review, and demo is demo, and so forth. And hopefully that contributes to the continued integrity of the channel and the work that not only I do, but also Airgun Angie, because she's part of the channel with me. She's part of AirgunWeb Media Group, which covers multiple channels, but hopefully it's useful for you guys. It's really the point why we do it. I mean, obviously it is a job. I mean, I do get paid to do the reviews, but it's something we also love doing. And I started because I wanted to become a voice of good information for the consumer and the real performance of the air guns, not the fictitious marketing performance. So that's why I started it, and that's why I still do it. That's why, even though Gambo's a sponsor and it says on the box 1650, I'm going to say, yeah, no. 13 maybe, 13 and a half on a good day, downhill with a tailwind. even though I just got to be real. So if I can continue to be real, hopefully that will continue to maintain the integrity of the channel, and I'll stay the go-to guy for air guns. Does that make sense? I hope that is. I hope that makes sense. So, Albert, is there going to be another Gambo squirrel hunt? Probably next year. I believe it's on this calendar. We'll see if it happens. David, if you found a finework bow brake barrel, um, if it's got finework bow on it and it's made by finework bow, it's probably freaking awesome. So I don't know, but probably awesome. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like people are talking about that. Let's see here. Got just a bunch of people saying hello. All right, bring the FX Impact Mark III. That's good. We can take a look at both of them. That'll be fun. Um, Chuck, the 22 cal Ruger is. There are good ones and there are less than good ones. Hopefully, you got a good one. I've had both. I've had some that were just tack driving machines, awesome, and I've had some that were a minute of barn door accurate. So I think that's a roll of the dice on that one. Hopefully, you got a good one. Let's see. Jarrett, I'm glad you got the Woods Walker. That gun is awesome. I have one. Just a really, really nice gun. It's one of those that I've had several and I sell them, and then I always kick myself for doing it. I'm not going to let this. I'm not going to let it go anymore. It's staying for good. I've done the conversion to an AR stock. Maybe I should pull that out and do a video of it because it's pretty neat. That's a really cool gun. Glasses. It takes a lot of work to keep these clean, especially when I'm out in the field all day long. Um, Steve, I appreciate that. The like and subscribe and notification. If you guys do like the videos, please do like and subscribe and hit the notification button so you get notified as we got new content coming out. I'll wrap up with this. Um, how about a Springer piston rifle that is reliable and won't break the bank? Really, I think my go-to right now is going to be the Gammo Bone Collector Magnum, Bone Collector Swarm Gen 2, or the Maxim. If you got the strength to cock the Magnum, go for it. But right now, I think they have the edge on brake barrels. I haven't shot some of the hot on stuff in a while. I do have a speed fire, but they've done a lot of changes since I was working with them, and I don't think they're all good ones, but I won't know till I really shoot it. May be perfectly fine, but we'll see. But I think Gammo, they've got some good stuff right now. That would be my go-to for a Springer. For a couple $100, you can get the Swarm Maxim Gen 2. I think that's a really nice gun. Lightweight, easy to cock, good accuracy, good velocity. It's got the multi-shot system, so I think that's kind of an easy choice. Okay. Let's see. I guess that's going to be it, guys. Joshua, how do I feel about FX? Look, they make some exquisite guns. My personal experience with FX is I had a hard time keeping them running. That's just me personally. I had an old FX Boss, and I had it resealed, and it sprung another leak within a few months. Repairable. I repaired it, and I sold it eventually. But that's me personally, and I don't have enough experience to have any sort of deep understanding of them. But from what I've been told, and people have told me, you do need to be comfortable with doing your own maintenance. Was probably going to be your best bet because you're going to need to do it. But I mean, I haven't owned one and shot it for a year to know. I have a lot of other guns that I've owned and shot for years, and I've been pretty pleased with like AirArms, Evanex. See, BSA makes a really good gun. The day state, I have a day state that I've had for a few years, and it's still going strong. So there's some out there that those are all less complicated guns, and I think when you get to a level of complexity and simplicity kind of goes out, then with that complexity comes the necessary maintenance to keep it running. There you go. All right, that's going to be it. Cool, Albert. Share the video. In fact, Albert, if you get a chance, sign up for Airgun Army and share the video there. Post a link, and that's what that's there for. It'll be a lot of fun. Okay, that's going to be it. I'm calling it. Yeah, Heath. FX is good for an Airsmith. Yeah, okay. As far as Albert, the BSA R10 is exceptionally underrated. One of the best guns you can buy, and they do not get the press they deserve. Guys, we are past time. We are out. Thank you again for another great night. I come up here and I'm going, what am I going to talk for an hour? And we're done. We're past an hour already. So there you go. Super easy. So I will say thank you. Please, if you like what we're doing here and on our other videos, and please check out our other channels. AirgunwebTV's got all of our AirgunwebTV shows that we did a few years back. That's where our hunting stuff's going to go. A lot of cool stuff's going to go on that channel. We're going to be building that out. Modern Airgunner is something that I'm kind of playing with. It's something new to do. And if you guys like the content, please like, subscribe. And we should be able to, eventually I'd like to see us putting out something almost every day. That would be pretty cool. You guys would have something cool and new and exciting in the airgun world to see fresh every day. That's sort of the goal. Hopefully that could happen as we look into next year. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it. Thanks again for everybody coming up and hanging out. And we will see you next week, if not sooner. See ya. Bye.